my lovely Saggies. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. Saggies, it's so funny because I was literally thinking about one of my Saggies and how beautiful their poetry is, and you guys got the poet. The fault line, the agape, the mountain, the shapeshifter, the poet, and Eros. Love this for y'all. Okay, so I mean, you guys have really just been, like pulling yourselves out of, the past year, just like dealing with faulty foundations, dealing with, like communities and friends and groups of people who you just like, they're just not meeting you where you're at. You know what I mean? There just have been issues along the way, and I feel like dealing with other people's shadow has left you feeling like you've been existing in your shadow and wanting to overcome that and wanting to move past that and having to really understand your own value, because agape is the like truth of who you are and an understanding of self, and the mountain is the idea of going within and discovering your value. And Saggies, I feel like that's exactly what you guys have been doing, and finding the beauty in it all. I love the poet. It's one of my favorite cards because life is complicated and situations are so dynamic because there's more than just like us involved in it all, right? And so it's important for us to have it like an understanding of self, because once we have a sincere understanding of self, we can have a more clear understanding of others, that allows for us to really discover, the pieces of beauty that kind of got lost in the chaos, is what I want to say, and showing up differently because you have this passion, you have this desire. I mean, Eros is romance and passion and love, and I feel like you are wanting to show up. I don't know, one of the reads like a while ago, sometime in this past year, I want to say like the Fibonacci one, where it's like the equations, and like Saggies are so, like curious, and they want to know everybody's perspective, and you really needing to like gain insight and understanding so you can see, like where it is that things weren't really, like where things were off in the equation. And I feel like you have done that in a way that's allowing for you to show up differently to something. Love. Okay, Saggies. See what else we can get for y'all. The Four of Pentacles. It's funny because like when I think about that reading, it was the idea of like somebody wanting to tell you like, well, it's just a matter of perspective. And I feel like for a while you being okay with that argument, but then ultimately it's like, okay, but if we know that like 3 + 6 is 9, then it's not 7 + 2, and you can't say that it's just like it's this, you know what I mean? Like when the fact of the matter is that it's something completely different, and you've been really, like working to overcome this idea of perspective, because while yes, perspective is very important and diversity is very important, like you can get lost in the confusion and the mud, of like, well, if I can blur this, then you can't argue with me, and then you get trapped in something that just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? I feel like you guys have been trapped in something that like didn't really feel right, and you had to take the time to really figure out why. But as you do, you discover, like that there is a way to like overcome these things, overcome these issues. And what was your last read? Like the end, like just like resonating in the tunnel of the end, and needing to really step out of that mentality and that vibration so that you can see your way out of it, and being swept up in the fact that you like you have an ability to have a knowledge and an awareness that will remove you from that vibration, right? So that you can step into, quite possibly for a lot of my Saggies, step into a relationship. I mean, Eros is a relationship. The Lovers is a relationship. It's also a choice card. And I feel like you've had to make a choice to really find the beauty in a situation, to show up differently, to get what it is that you want, Okay, Sag. And I feel like there's an air of vulnerability. I literally just keep thinking about the poetry, you know, and like how beautiful it is, because there's so much vulnerability there, and there's so much heart there, Saggies. And I feel like you're embracing that rather than doubt, and that's fantastic. Okay, Saggies, what else can we get for y'all? The Five of Cups, confusion, doubt, exactly what we were saying. You're trying to step away from, needing to really pull away from like other people's opinions and perspectives so that you can really clear and remove any of that doubt and confusion, and follow the path to your emotional fulfillment. And following that path feels a lot like just like not really knowing where you're going, right? Another thing that we were talking about is that idea of like, it feels like faking it until you make it. And yet, you know, like, how else do we get there? You know what I mean? We practice, we try again, we figure out what doesn't work. You know, like if we're walking in the dark and we hit a dead end, then we turn around and we try to find our way out. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's really what you guys have been doing, is just like finding your way through the maze, you know, like to get out of the noise. It's that ringing ears, right? Like all the opinions of everybody else. It's exhausting. The Strength. Queen of Pentacles, Knave of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Well, I mean, this is just like financial security and abundance, and, you know, like not being afraid to really go for an opportunity. Well, I say not being afraid to go for an opportunity because the Knave is kind of like this youthful, like, I'll do it, but like also still needing to find the strength to do it, because I do think that there is a little bit of fear involved still, and a little bit of hesitation, and a little bit of not really knowing, but trusting that like what you want is on the other side. And the fact that we have Eros, the Lovers, and the King and Queen of Pentacles, to me really says like there's a partnership that you are, you know, seeking, that I think will really elevate your life in a huge way, you know, like emotionally, financially, like all of these things. And I love that for y'all. Okay. Embracing the vulnerability. Okay, Saggies. The seed, yes, because there's a seed that has been planted for something that you really want. And I feel like you're like, okay, it's time to really like focus on developing the growth of this, which is great. And I hope this resonates with y'all. You're doing fantastic. Good job. I'm proud of you guys, and I can't wait to see what comes next. All right, I will see y'all again soon. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if this does resonate. And yeah, have a great day. Bye, guys.